Someone cuts you off mid-sentence. A coworker smirks and says, "Relax, it's not that serious." A friend makes a joke that lands like a punch. In that split second, your body heats up. Your mind races, and you feel the urge to correct them, expose them, put them in their place. That urge feels like strength, but it's usually the moment you surrender control. Disrespect is rarely about logic. It's a test of your nervous system. The person across from you may be careless, insecure, or simply rude, but the real battle is internal. Will you hand them your attention, your tone, your dignity? Most people do. They argue, over-explain, raise their voice, send the paragraph text, replay the moment for days. And the worst part is this: the disrespect often isn't even what hurts. What hurts is realizing you became someone you don't respect. The Stoics had a word for this trap: being dragged by externals. Epictetus warned that when you feel disturbed, it is not the event that upsets you, but your judgment about the event. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by political sharks and open enemies, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He wasn't writing poetry, he was leaving himself a weapon. So, here is the shift. The goal is not to win the interaction, the goal is to stay sovereign. Disrespect is bait. Reaction is the hook. Silence, when chosen deliberately, is the blade that cuts the line, not the weak silence of fear, the strong silence of command. Today, I'll give you a silent Stoic response that works because it changes the game. It does three things at once. It stops your emotional leak, it forces the other person to reveal their intent, and it buys you time to respond from principle instead of ego. You will learn to pause without freezing, to look without glaring, and to leave the moment without losing your ground. But first, notice the contrast. When you react instantly, your words are owned by the other person. They control the tempo, the frame, the outcome. When you go quiet on purpose, you take back the frame. You become the person who decides what matters, and that is the deepest form of respect, self-respect. In a moment, I'll break it into simple steps you can practice today, even if you're not naturally calm. For now, make this commitment. You will not negotiate your dignity in real time. You will observe, choose, and act. Because the most powerful answer to disrespect is not a perfect comeback. It's a controlled presence that says, without saying it, "I'm not available for this." If you've trained to believe silence equals weakness, remember this: weakness is letting your emotions be managed by strangers. Silence is the space where you choose your standard. It's the moment you decide, "I will not trade my peace for a victory." And once you learn it, people feel it before you speak. Here's what usually happens. The disrespect lands. Your heart rate jumps. Your mind serves three options: fight, freeze, or flee. Most people fight because it feels like protection. They raise their voice, correct the record, say something sharp to even the score. It feels like standing up for yourself. But look at the cost. Your clarity vanishes. You say things that don't reflect your values. Worst of all, you confirm they can reach you, pull your strings, and rent space in your head for free. Seneca wrote that the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Not suppression, not pretending you didn't feel it. Delay, a gap between stimulus and response. In that gap lives your entire freedom. Without it, you are a machine programmed by their words. With it, you become a human choosing your own standard. So, the silent response begins with one breath. Not a dramatic sigh, not a theatrical pause. One quiet inhalation through the nose that takes 4 seconds. During those 4 seconds, do not plan your counterattack. Do not rehearse your pride. Simply notice the heat in your chest. Notice the urge to speak. Notice the story your mind is writing about what this person thinks of you. Watch it like a passing cloud. The breath creates the gap. The gap creates choice. Now look at the other person while you breathe. Not with a glare, not with a fake smile, with steady, relaxed eyes. This is what unnerves them. They threw a stone and heard no splash. They expected a target and found a mirror. Most disrespect is performative. It needs an audience to validate the act. When you refuse to perform back, the script breaks. They are alone on stage holding a prop that no longer works. That discomfort is theirs, not yours. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to meet insults with silence, or, if impossible, with patience. But silence is not emptiness, it is full of intent. It says, I heard you, I disagree with your assessment of my worth. It says, I do not need to correct you to be correct. It says, my peace is not for sale, and you lack the currency to buy it. The shift from triggered to sovereign is not about being emotionless. It is about being motionless long enough for the emotion to pass through you instead of hijack you. Think of it this way. The reactive person is a pond that ripples at every thrown stone. The sovereign person is the deep water beneath, still and unmoved. The stone enters but does not reach the bottom. Practice this when the stakes are low, when someone cuts the line, when a driver honks, when a text feels sharp. Use the 4-second breath. Feel the urge to react. Let it pass. Notice how quickly the moment loses power when you refuse to feed it. You are training your nervous system to trust silence. Once it does, you walk differently. People sense a boundary words could never build. Now, we add the part most people miss. Silence without direction is just avoidance. Stoic silence is strategic. After the breath and the steady gaze, you choose one of 3 silent moves: the pause, the pivot, or the exit. The pause is the simplest. You say nothing for 2 full seconds after they finish speaking. You keep your posture open, shoulders down, face neutral. This tiny delay flips the power dynamic. It tells your brain, I decide the tempo. It tells them, your words do not command me. Often, the person will start talking again, over-explaining, softening, or revealing their insecurity. Let them. Information is power, and silence collects it. The pivot is for situations where you must speak, but you refuse to play their game. You use a calm, low-volume question that forces clarity. Questions are blades wrapped in velvet. Try, what did you mean by that? Or, are you trying to be helpful or hurtful? Then stop. No lectures, no speeches, just the question and silence. Most disrespect collapses under daylight. If they backpedal, you accept it with a simple nod and move on. If they double down, you have your data. The exit is the most underrated weapon. You don't threaten, you don't punish, you simply remove access. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is to be unlike the one who performed the injury. Leaving calmly is being unlike them. You can stand, gather your things, and say one line, still calm, we can talk when it's respectful. Then you go, not to sulk, but to protect your standards. The door closing is the boundary. Here's the contrast that changes everything. The reactive person tries to restore respect by demanding it. The Stoic restores respect by embodying it. One begs the world to treat him well. The other trains himself to be unshakable regardless of treatment. That is why silence works. It is not a tactic to manipulate them. It is a practice to govern you. Epictetus would ask, what is up to you? Their tone is not. Their manners are not. Your response is. Your attention is. Your next action is. When you remember this, you stop trying to win the moment and start building a reputation. People may forget your argument, but they remember how you carried yourself under pressure. And one more truth. You don't need to correct every slight. Not every disrespect deserves your energy. Some people are not opponents, they are weather. You don't argue with rain. You adjust, move, and continue. Your life is too valuable to spend proving your value. When it's someone you must deal with, a boss, a partner, family, the same principle applies. Don't chase respect, set the standard.
You can be warm without being available. You can be firm without being loud. A quiet boundary repeated consistently becomes your identity, and identity changes rooms. People test you less when they learn there is no reward for testing you. That is real power, calm, clear, and unmovable. You're going to be tempted to turn this into a performance. The stare, the dramatic pause, the "I'm above you" act. Don't. That's still reaction, just dressed better. The Stoic response is calm because it's honest. It's you refusing to hand your mood to someone else. So here's the drill. For 1 week, every time you feel disrespected, run the sequence. Breathe 4 seconds, steady eyes, then choose pause, pivot, or exit. No explaining, no defending, no late-night paragraphs. After the moment ends, journal 1 line. What was in my control and what wasn't? That single line trains your mind to return to sovereignty. And if you do speak, speak like a judge, not a lawyer. A judge doesn't argue, he states the standard. That tone doesn't work for me. Try again, respectfully. We'll continue when it's calm. Then, silence. Let the consequence be your presence or your absence, not your anger. One last rule. Don't seek closure from the person who disrespected you. Closure is internal. You close the loop by acting in alignment. That alignment becomes reputation, and reputation becomes peace over time. Over time, something happens. The people who rely on intimidation get bored because you give them no fuel. The decent people adjust because you made the boundary clear. And you start respecting yourself more because you didn't abandon your values for a moment of ego relief. Remember Marcus Aurelius, the best fortress is a mind that cannot be stormed. Your silence is not surrender, it's the sound of discipline. If this hit you, comment, "I stay sovereign," so you lock it in. Subscribe to Stoic 95 for the lesson and train this until calm becomes your default. Do you want a part 2 with examples for work, relationships, and family?